Good morning. This is Roxy B. Rocker, and I am your host of Embracing What's Possible with Roxy. I'm a little tired this week. Been a long week. I'm a licensed massage therapist in Massachusetts, and I had only 6 to 8 clients, and then I've jumped into having 18 clients. So it got slow to busy overnight. These are the things that happen when you're a small business owner. So I am coming to you because this is the second episode of Embracing What's Possible. And I want you to get to know me a little bit better. And I wanted to share some things on why I value so much around disability, and I value so much around our curiosities and what we want to do for the whole concept of why I'm doing all of the things that I'm doing. Um, you know, First of all, when you look at me, you might not think that I have disabilities, but I do. I was born with one leg shorter than the other. And I was diagnosed with a lot of cognitive disabilities in childhood in school, where they called it learning disabilities, um, and dysgraphia, dyscalculia, ADHD, non-specific, non-verbal LD. Whatever that means, they diagnosed it. So I learned differently. And a lot of people out there might learn differently, but we see the world in a whole different way. And so I think that my whole vision of all these things that I'm kind of working towards and working on is I want people to embrace and accept that they have whatever this diagnosis is, and that they can live with it. But I also find that a lot of people who might have a diagnosis or disability basically are very upset that they have it. And they can be kind of angry because of it, and they can be kind of frustrated because of it. And I'm going in a whole different direction, and I'm talking about embracing it, and I'm talking about accepting it, and finding your gifts within it and celebrating it and having opportunities to celebrate it. And I feel like we don't do that. We don't celebrate milestones. We don't celebrate acceptance. We become frustrated within that. And we really don't embrace what we have and why we have it. And that's hard and unfortunate and really difficult to get that concept out. And for me, I don't really know why that concept is difficult to come out, and I don't know why that concept is um hard to really move forward and get going. And I don't know why that's hard for people. I really don't. Yes, I'm a little tired today, and yes, it was hard to get a little bit more motivated to put the show on and host the show today. But again, I'm here, I'm doing it. You know, there's a small milestone. And that's what this whole embracing what's possible is all about. It's this curiosity and this experience that we're working on celebrating all the things that we can feel that are possibilities that, you know, could be really difficult for people to even think about starting something, beginning something. And so that's what I want for all of us is I want all of us to be able to find a way that we can express ourselves. You know, are you looking for this dream job? Are you looking for are you looking for a dream job? Are you wanting to create something? Are you wanting to create dinners? Are you wanting to create a whole business plan? What are you wanting to create? And what do you think you could do to make ignite that start, to make it shine, to make it sparkle? Maybe it's just that you wrote it in your book and then you made a goal to go and call SCORE or go and call your local business support at the universities. Maybe you um, have a friend who is a business owner and you said, I wanted to go and have coffee with them. Maybe you looked up the most latest garden club and you said, okay, well, how do I start that? There's a social club in my neighborhood of they call it Neshoba Neighbors. And, they go to dinners and have book groups, but they wanted it because it's hard to make friends. So, what if you're just doing something that could make a small or a huge impact on another person's life? What if you literally wanted to express yourself in a different way and you love dancing? And your version of dancing is different than another person's version of dancing. I think that we should all just grab the opportunities of like celebrating what we want and that we could do, right? So I'm going after a couple of things. I'm going to go grab something and show you one of the things that I'm doing and one of the things that has become important. And then I also want to share a little bit more about what embracing disability is. And don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid that you haven't began something yet. You need help, you can reach out to Roxy at embracing-disability.com. You could reach out to a local business community. They're all over the Facebook pages. You could you could just you can figure out how to just get started. And that would be just so beneficial for you to realize that you can and you can do this. You can make all of these wonderful things happen because you're you and you're who you are, and your experiences are different than your neighbor's experiences, your sister's experiences. They're your experiences. And so I really want to encourage you to make that happen and to provide spaces for your life that it goes back again to what I was saying about connections and that we don't have to do this alone. We just need to become more engaged in what we feel like is a passion for us or is a celebration for us. And maybe I'm hearing that some people might not believe that they know what celebrations are, that they might believe that they don't know what that experience is for them. But I think that they could find it. I think that they could have it. I think that that is the most important thing in the whole wide world is that we take whatever that is and we express it for what it's worth and for why Why is that important? Because I think that having milestones and having accomplishments and gives us this place inside of us that you feel more connected to something. And why wouldn't we want to be connected to something? Uh, I think that we all owe it to ourselves in life to have a connection, to be with people, to understand more things. And without that, how could we why is isolation more important? Why is isolation more beneficial when we're not connected and we're isolated? We really need to have a way that we could really feel that we can all get embraced because, having that hug is really important. It's a way to make that connection. And not having that connection is just it just for me, I guess it just doesn't make sense. I have a lot of connections, um, but it just doesn't make sense to not have them. And I feel for people who think that they can't because I think that everybody deserves to be embraced and everybody deserves to have what they need. Everyone deserves that. Everyone feels that. Everyone understands that. And the fact that we don't want to be judged, the fact that we're scared, I would say start anyway. Start anyway. Do it. Become more of what you believe that you can because you deserve that. That's empowering and important for a lot of aspects of your life. I just think that when we embrace the what's possible, we start moving towards these places and spaces that will take us into other spaces in our journey. It'll take us into other places um, for us to soar and rise above. We truly have opportunities that we've never had before, and we can get access to things that we've never had before. And I just feel like, why not? You don't have to start a business, but you can start something small that would give you enjoyableness. Maybe you love to run. You like walking clubs, things that are so simple. We don't have to make everything so complicated. Do we? Do we have to make it complicated? Do we have to worry so much and fret so much in our brains? No, we really don't. And, you know, and having connections, having people, you might have like the newest, closest friend because you did this. You might get to enjoy something that you never thought you could enjoy before because you did this. And you're probably going to have more experience of happiness, joy, comfort. And that's really difficult to explore the fact that you don't have those things. That's what's the difficulty, is that you're not finding the joy, you're not finding the happiness, you are not finding something that's making you have that feeling of completion. And is that my way? Maybe. And I probably am a little too ambitious. I'm probably a little too ready to find my what's possible.
Thank you for watching Prospera TV Network. We hope you're enjoying the show. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
And yet, it's okay because finding the what's possible for you is going to be different than finding the what's possible for me. And that's what the show is all about. That we're going to be talking to people, we're going to be exploring things, we're going to be having these journeys on this what's possible because you became curious. Now, I want to tell you about embracing disability and how it began and what it is. I didn't even know that it was going to be a what's possible. And I didn't know. I wanted to do something and I wanted to make education and I wanted because, you get labeled when you're in the hospital and you get labeled, understanding that you're either in the hospital or you are going through whatever you're going through and you just feel like you're not even getting what you need from medical professionals, from doctors. I'm sure we hear this all the time, and it's really challenging to hear this all the time. So, we have to feel like we're, we have to just feel like we are, that's a whole other thing. You're embracing this label, you're embracing your disability. You're not living it saying that it's what's defining you, but you are bringing it forth in a way that is wonderful and happiness. And you're bringing it forth in a way that, you know, you can accept that. You can embrace that for who you are and what you are. The other part of my company, Embracing Disability, is that we are working on embracing disability to educate society and help society understand what disability is and how to bring forth the education and awareness on what disability is and how disability is so impactful and how we can help understand how to embrace disability and have a better understanding of it and wrap our brains around really truly understanding where disability is and what it can be for how difficult it can be for people in society, and how we can embrace it and how we can work on what disability is and how disability can represent itself. And if more people in society understood it, I feel like more people would be able to talk about it and look into how we can make things that are um more understandable, like because maybe it's too complicated or maybe there's just not enough acceptance, but I want to see a world where we are more included and that inclusion happens, because the inclusion part is where we are representing. You didn't just get invited to the party, you got invited to sit with everybody. You got invited to dance with everybody. You got invited to be engaged. You got invited. You got embraced. You got accepted. But you weren't just invited to the party, you were engaged in the party. You weren't just invited to play the sport, you were engaged in the sport. You were made sure that like you had your time in the sporting event. Um, and everybody's interacted with, everybody's communicating. We are so quick to judge or so quick to not understand things. And in many ways, it's an ignorance. And it's not a bad thing that it's an ignorance because it's the not understanding part. And, so a wheelchair user, if somebody puts their hands on the wheelchair, you know, and they're trying to offer to help or push a wheelchair, you're not asking for help, you're just doing it. And so that would not be appropriate. And a person who's blind, if you see them with the cane, that cane is helping them. They've learned how to use the cane. They may not need you to link their arm with them. Um, if I say that I'm having problems processing, yes, I might need some support and I might need some assistance, but I don't really need your help exactly. I want to just felt heard. I just want to felt supported and embraced. I feel like that is the more important part. So I have a magazine and I want to offer opportunities for people to write for my magazine. And you can go to embracing-disability.com, contribute. There's also now a place where you can write in your Embracing What's Possible story or your Embracing What's Possible adventure that you're about to go on because you want that and you want to achieve that and work within that. And I think that that's really great and cool. And so again, we're always looking for stories, and we'd love to have your story, and maybe one of your stories could even be featured on here, or maybe we interview you. um I would love your feedback at Roxy at embracing-disability.com on what topics we want to talk about and who we'd like to meet, like the types of people we want to meet. I have a lot of cool ideas on who we're going to meet and what we're going to bring to the table. But this is exciting because we're launching the whole concept in the embracing disability world of this embracing what's possible for your curiosity. Um, and, I don't, it doesn't matter to me what your stories are, as long as you bring them to life and you write them. I think that that's the more important part is bringing your stories to life and writing them. It's not about, you know, and don't be scared. Don't be hesitant. They're going to go up on a Substack, and our magazine now lives in the Substack world. And we're learning how to interact with that world too. Um, this is a really great concept of getting people out of their own way and to learning how to get people out of their own way and really embrace what's happening and what people might need and what people might experience. And I want to encourage you to do a goal this week to get out of your comfort zone, and take a bite and write it down. Send it to me. I would love to hear what you're doing. I would love to hear how you're embracing your what's possible. Um, just don't be shy and interact and connect and let's experience that. Let's experience what's possible and how we can go from there. Um, because I just think that everybody has the opportunity to build something, to grow something, and to have that. And that's what we're going to learn on this show. We're going to learn how to expand our horizons, how to embrace ourselves more, how to really reach a new height for ourselves because we deserve that, don't we? We totally deserve that. I'm your host, Roxy B. Rocker, and I own Embracing Disability. I have a lot of really cool things that I'm going to be sharing with you that are upcoming. And please consider writing for Embracing Disability magazine. We'd love to have your article. You can reach out at www.embracing-disability.com/contribute. Or if you just go, you can find out the magazine and how to contribute. I wish you the best week. I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks. I might have a guest and we will chat soon. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from you and experiencing what you're doing for your embracing what's possible. Thank you for your time today. And thank you so much for being here. This is Roxy B. Rocker. I'm your host, and I cannot wait to see you again real soon.
I'm embracing what's possible, heart open wide, where fear used to whisper, now love is my guide. I'm not just surviving, I'm setting the pace, wearing my story with shimmering grace. From shadows to spotlight, I rise and I sing, embracing what's possible changes everything. This is your Prospera era, where dreams align with grace, abundance flows like rivers. You've stepped into your place. Rise, reign, and remember, you were born to shine. Welcome to your moment, Prospera, it's time. We hope you enjoyed today's show on Prospera TV Network. Make it a point to visit us on YouTube and catch all your favorite shows anytime you want. Interested in hosting a show of your own? Or advertising your business on our network? Contact Elena Rodriguez.